So let's see, 98 minutes we're at now. Let's see how fast we get through this next loop. Now that we've got all kinds of speed and red whips, and we got crazy jump. Good times. The Huntress is the best class to break with, in my opinion. Because one of the reasons she's the easiest character in the game is because she's a very kind of mindless character. And I don't mean that she's... Oh, new items. We got the Tesla coil, which gives our electric shield around us, so now we're like overloading Huntress. And the teddy bear, which is just a damage increase. Nice. But she's kind of mindless in that you really don't have to think a lot about when to use her abilities. Just hit the abilities as they come off cooldown, and you'll be good to go. Oh, we took a nice chunk of damage from that magma worm, though. If we stay inside that blue magma worm's hurt box too long, we are going to be in real bad shape. Let's get somewhere we can maneuver over here. Send the bugs out. Alright, we got them. Drop the bitter root. That's some more HP. Not going to laugh at that. So if you play on, if you get to the game and you're new, try the Huntress at first. Play on the general difficulty until you learn all the layouts of the levels. You really, I mean, you can't play as the Huntress first. You have to unlock her. That's true. I forget how you unlock the Huntress too. But she's a great character. You know what? Screw that. Install the hacked game save file that lets you start with all the characters, because it's dumb they make you unlock characters in the first place. That's right. It's dumb they make you do that. They shouldn't make you do that. So yeah, just hack the game. You'll be fine. Just start with the Huntress. With every other character class, there's thought into when to use their various abilities and what kind of items you want to prioritize if you're using command. The Huntress is kind of a mindless class. You just basically hit all of her attacks as they come off cooldown, and you can succeed with the class. There's really not a lot more to her than that. Her cons, like her like damage problem, her like her glass cannoniness, is really not that big of a deal until you step up to higher difficulty levels. But because she's a mindless class, and because she can move and attack at the same time, you just kind of hold the button, and you see how many... I've got all those soldier syringes. You see how many arrows I'm just putting out at this point. She's the most fun character to break with, in my opinion. The chef is also very fun to break with, but I've done a chef run already. You should check out my my chef playlist if you haven't already seen what the chef can do. There's still a boss wisp up there? Well, let me get them nugs first, then we'll go take care of the boss wisp. Let's see if we can kill the boss wisp with just the bugs before I get up there. We'll just hit the bugs constantly. Fire volley after volley of bugs. Looks like they're not even hitting him. Yeah, looks like they didn't even do damage to him. Alright, so that's that. Remaining enemies 1. What's still left? Oh, there's another wisp up top. So yeah, my bugs were hitting that guy, just he has his buddies up top. Wasn't taking any damage, and he was the one whose health bar we were seeing. Have some more bugs. Full bug kill. Very enjoyable. Alright, now we'll go back down to the toilet porter. Bug cooldown is like at 1 second and change at this point. Looks like 1.3 or 0.4 seconds, or give or take. But we're getting there. We're at 52 small enigmas. You do get more small enigmas than any other item, because every use item turns into a small enigma. Every orange item you get turns into a small enigma. So you end up with more of those than any other item in the game. Let's see, are we officially broken? Do I want to call this officially broken yet? As far as mobility goes, we have a long way to go still. There's that repulsion armor that I left behind in that one level. Let's see. When taking damage, reflect all attacks for 4 seconds. So yeah, it gives you like improved iframes, basically. Or maybe it reflects damage, like you still take the damage, but you reflect it back at the enemy? Is that how it works? I used to know all this, but it's been a long time since I played Risk of Rain. Outside of the few test plays I did this week, it's been a minute since I played Risk of Rain. Getting kind of silly over here. With so much death and destruction. One of these days, maybe I will... Because I'm at the point now where if I was going to sit down and redo the Rogue Legacy Let's Play, like, I would need to have a goal in mind. Like, I couldn't just sit down and just play the game. I need to have a goal in mind. Because just playing, okay, like I said that the first time you finish the game is like when you just roll the credits. If I just did that, it wouldn't be much of a Let's Play. You'd only be seeing a small part of the game. We wouldn't get all the fun upgrades and things. But if I went to the second ending, which is after you get all the upgrades, that would just be incredibly long and grindy. There's the Interstellar Desk Plant. That's kind of a super nugs. That, it drops healing plants on the ground for you to pick up that are better than the meat nuggets. Hope they're better than the meat nuggets. They're tier 3. There's another Enigma. Cooldown time is now just over 1 second. We don't have any Frost Relics. We can't really be broken until we've got some Frost Relics. So, these Colossi down here, man, we'll take them apart with just the charge field. Oh, can I get those crit glasses? Yeah. Because sometimes when you're getting crazy and you're killing enemies all over the screen like this, your items end up clipped inside of walls, which is no good for anybody, if I'm being honest with myself. No good whatsoever. There's another boxing glove. That's a great item to have like 1 or 2 of, but we're at the point now where that knockback's not going to be real noticeable anymore. If you get 1 or 2 of those really early, though, on Huntress, you can definitely feel it. And there actually, you know what, there are some characters that don't want the boxing glove, because the knockback, like Han D wants all his enemies bunched up in a little space. So I guess the boxing glove would be kind of detrimental to Han D. Although I can see still being successful with it. So yeah, maybe that's one of the rare items in Risk of Rain that is kind of situational. There's another jetpack. Nice. It just enhances my jumps a little bit. We'll go get that Toxic Beast later. Leaving a Toxic Beast alive, if you get your infusion on a level that has Toxic Beasts, leaving a Toxic Beast alive can be good, because they spawn little piglets all over the screen. And all those little piglets count for purposes of your infusion. Yeah, we can use that little shortcut there. That's nice. Yeah, you see every so often, just an entire army of little piglets will show up. I'm going to use this as my kill floor. And we're going to just keep an eye on that bottom ledge down there. When an item appears, we'll go grab it. And we'll see if we can let that Toxic Beast alive. You know, it doesn't matter. We're almost maxed out on health anyway. So I'm going to go kill the Toxic Beasts, so he doesn't spawn little piggies on me. There's a second Golden Gun. Like, I don't think I know how Golden Gun actually stacks, though. This ledge is covered in little death plants. Covered in them. I think every monster we spawn is going to spawn a death plant where it died. I'm not seeing any cremators, though. I mean, I'm not going to complain. The cremators are kind of a pain to deal with. I've got a great... because this game is multiplayer. You can play multiplayer. But the multiplayer is kind of buggy and doesn't really work super well. Is this an item up here? No, just a bunch of monsters. That was probably really stupid. We need to not be the stupid, Brickroad. Less stupid. That could have went real bad. There's some more crit glasses. There's a leeching seed. Oh, I must have already got one of those already. I've got 2 of them now. I didn't see picking the first one up. That's a great healing item. Probably the best healing item for Huntress. Because you gain some hit points back every time you land an attack. And her attacks come out super fast. Now we're stacking the permafrosts. I mean, we're going places on this run. can't really call it broken until we get the Frost Relics, though. Cooldown on the bugs is now officially under 1 second. Looking pretty nice. Let's see if this guy up here dropped any items. No? Nothing? And no cremators this time. Alright, you know. I won't look at gifts cremator in the etc. You know what I mean? Hopefully next time we see this level we'll be super broken. And the game can throw 50 cremators at us and it won't matter. Look at that cooldown, though, on the bugs. But we're still not quite queen of the boogers. We're still working on it. The boogers are real right now, but they could be realer. Oh, yes. The realiness could be exaggerated beyond belief. We are at max hit points as far as the infusion goes. Now we can only increase our hit points by picking up more Guardian Hearts. Infusions and Bitter Roots are now pointless. We're going to see His Majesty before this level's over, too. Every 10 minutes, His Majesty shows up. Because we have the Origin artifact turned on. That's a good artifact to turn on if you're trying to get a breaking run going, because you always get an item from a boss monster. And early on, the first 30 or 40 minutes of the game, getting those boss drops can be very, very important. I actually just picked up the Ancient Scepter. That changes what your fourth action is. It changes how our Explodey Arrow works, but I don't really know what it does for Huntress. That item does something a little different for each character class. And I don't really know what it does for Huntress. Maybe it makes the explosion bigger or more damaging or something? But hey, we got it. There's a photon jetpack. So now we get a little gas tank that appears next to us. We can hold the jump button down to get some more height. So our verticality problems are pretty good. So we have to waste our double. We have to first use up our actual double jump, and then we get a photon jetpack on top of that, which is beautiful. Will not complain about that at all. But we're can't say that I'm broken until we get a Frost Relic, though. I gotta get a Frost Relic. And some more small enigmas, obviously. Life is always better with more small enigmas. Because now we're launching bugs off the old Lopper. That just helps us kill enemies that have low health. But low, remember, is relative. Like, enemies get really, really tanky in this game. So when enemies at low health, they still might be within a few shots of being killed. The old Lopper, the axe that we just picked up, makes sure that we kill those enemies in one hit instead of 2 or 3 usually. I don't really know how useful that item is at this stage in the game, though, because we're at the stage in the game now where most of our killing is happening with our secondary and tertiary attack items, like our on-hit and on-death items, our Ceremonial Dagger, Gasoline, that kind of stuff. You know what? We're going to loop again. We are indeed going to loop again. Gotta get a Frost Relic. Gotta get a Frost Relic. We're at like 0.6 seconds on the cooldown now, it looks like. Maybe a little more. It's been a minute since I had a breaking run like this. And I'm just kind of enjoying it now. I intended for this to be a nice short little series. Maybe it'll be a really long series. I don't know. What do you guys think? 18 hours of Risk of Rain? Let's do it. I was thinking, because they released this game on PS4, and I do plan to get a PS4 at some point this year. I was thinking about buying the PS4 version of this game in the hopes that the online is better. Like the multiplayer is a little easier to connect to and stuff. It's so satisfying to kill these worms. The glaive just tears through them. So good. But I was thinking of doing a second Risk of Rain like series, Because I'm not just doing a Let's Play, I'm doing like a series of Risk of Rain. A series for each of the classes. But I was thinking about doing a second series where I upload... oh, I see. He's going to throw the big blue worms at me now. But go through the PS4 version, unlocking all the stuff. And putting videos out for all that. Oh, I was inside that blue worm for way too long. They have more health, because they're elite worms. They've got more health than the standard worms do as well. Looks like they're dead now. Looks like we got them both. Those fireworks are going to be fun, eventually. Remember earlier I promised they'd be fun, and they immediately like rescinded the promise because we weren't broken enough yet? I'm pretty confident now that I can say we're broken enough that I can put that promise back on the table. Those fireworks will be fun! I see a spike strip, I see another spike strip, I see a soldier's syringe and some more fireworks in there. So, imagine playing the game at this level, with the items dropping this quickly, with command on. Which means you've got to stop and manually open every box and pick what item you want off of a list of items. It's so much more fun just to get the random item every time. The breaking run is so much more fun. So command, the early game is better. You get to that broken level almost guaranteed. Because you can start with your infusion, your hopo feather, that kind of stuff. A bunch of soldiers, syringes, or goat hose to make you super fast. All the healing you want. But the middle and late game of the breaking run is more fun without command, because you don't have to stop and deal with that menu every couple seconds. Or if you just ignore the menu, like, you can continue to get items. Because I guess if you're a breaking run, you might not continue to grab items, but that's not fun either. Because you want to go until you have every item in the game, and like hundreds of every tier 1, you know? Hundreds of these mysterious vials. You want to go until you have so many monster teeth that every one of your little healing nuggets that floats across the screen to you is bigger than the screen. You know, I've had breaking runs like that. That's when you know you've conquered Risk of Rain. That was the first enemy that spawned on the level, I think, and he was the last one to die. We also know we're not broken because I can't cross this stage under my own power yet. I still have to use the ropes and the geysers to jump up. Eventually we'll have enough verticality that we won't have to use any of this mess. But not just yet. We're only at the 2-hour mark, though. We're only at the 2-hour mark. I don't know how many videos that is. I do tend to upload videos in 20-minute chunks, but sometimes I don't stick to that. Sometimes I find better ways to break the videos up. I started out my YouTube channel breaking up at 10 minutes, because, hey, there's the teleporter right there. Nice! If you guys remember, back in the day, YouTube used to have a hard 11-minute cap. They said it was a 10-minute cap, but they gave you 1 minute of a grace period. But yeah, it used to be 11 minutes. You could not go over 11 minutes no matter what you did. Some of the earliest YouTube accounts, which mine was not, unfortunately, were... Is that a second Ancient Scepter? It is. And another syringe. And another Bustling Fungus. Some of the oldest YouTube accounts were kind of grandfathered in, but I didn't actually make a YouTube account until like 2007 or so? 2006? I don't even remember really. But then after a few years, they decided to raise that limit to 15 minutes, and if you had a YouTube account in good standing that you verified by going through this little rigmarole, you could upload videos of any length. So for a while I was doing videos with 15 minutes, but I've kind of landed on the 20-minute mark now, and my rationalization for that is kind of... like, that's how much Second Brilliant Behemoth. I don't really know what that'll do for me. All my attacks already explode. What, do they explode twice now? Is everything twice as exploding? No idea. More of these missiles, though. Come on, magma worms, come at me, bro. Let's do it. All the magma worms.
Shoutouts to Gordalot for sponsoring this video, and to everybody who helps make my channel possible by supporting me on Patreon.